Hey crafty people, Ashley here with Make It With Ashley, and today we have a fun fall layout. And I'm simply in love with this Crisp Air paper pack. So much fun and such a good variety. And we have that coordinating cardstock in, I think that's Mocha, Pine, Sapphire, and I want to say Toffee. So quick flip through the Picture My Life cards, and I was super excited to finally have time to play with the Crisp Air, that is the Scrapbooking stamp and then cut. Now for my base of my layout, I kind of flipped through some of my old stuff. I found something that I kind of liked for a base. Okay, so I was playing with some color schemes. I knew I wanted a pattern on the top and bottom section that was different, and then I want a strip running through the middle of it. So this is just an idea of if you have a layout you've already created, if you're ever in a rut, flip through, see what you like, look at your paper that you have, and a lot of times you can find inspiration from your previous work. So what I did is measured the 4 1/4 inch for that bottom little leaf pattern. I did 1 1/4 inch for that's a paprika little, and then I brought in that blue, that sapphire, and then I was kind of looking at my photos and kind of rethinking my idea. And I was like, this is a little bit darker than what I really wanted. Okay. So I decided to kind of flip through the other colors. I wasn't feeling any of the other prints, and I really liked the way this pine kind of looked. It matches, it's one of the coordinating colors, and I thought that went really well. And then that was nice because you'll see when I bring in my photos, they have a lot of blue and red in them. And I think this really helps make the photos pop more by kind of using a color that coordinates but not the same matching color. I do try to bring in a little bit of those reds and blues in some of my embellishments, you'll see. However, it's important to not do too many. So, I wanted to kind of match and bring in some more of that mocha color, so I used that as my photo base, or my photo mats, there we go. And that, I think, turned out rather nicely. It's very muted, it's not that bold of a color, it coordinates well, and then I'm bringing in that outside border color. I was kind of playing back and forth. I really liked that fall list. But I ended up going with the journaling square because of some of the embellishments I have. So the main reason I bought this stamp set was I really liked this cute fall banner. So I liked that it has an F, an A, and an L, so you can spell fall, and it also has a blank one so that I could create a couple extra coordinating ones. So I am using a rocking and rolling technique, which I used all over the place in this scrapbooking workshop. So I am going to stamp the entire thing in the lighter color ink, and then I'm going to roll the edges in a darker color ink that coordinates well. Now that that pine paper was just too plain. So I wanted to get some splatter, and I wanted something that sparkles. So I pulled out the gold Glit Gloss Spray. I love that stuff. Something I should point out is you can actually spray it, but that gives you kind of more of like a mist, a larger coverage. Think of squirting something with a squirt bottle, okay, on like mist. It's going to go all over. You get a lot of coverage. I wanted more of dots and splatter. I wanted larger ones. So you simply unscrew the lid, make sure you shake it really well beforehand, and then I kind of just flick it down, and you can see, look how fabulous that is. And then it shimmers, it's gold, it is gorgeous. This is a technique you really need to try. So going back to my Crisp Air scrapbooking stamp, I did a whole sheet of just playing with different color combos. I chose the ones that coordinated with the set, and I even picked some other ones just as accents that I know worked well in fall. And then once again, it's that rocking and rolling technique. You start with the lighter color on the inside, and then you roll the outside edge in your darker shade, and then you can see I'm going back in with the inside stamp and adding that, and it really just makes it pop. And another thing is these are all the same exact flower, but they have a lot of personalities. You can turn this a lot of different directions, especially that center. So just by changing the orientation of that centerpiece, it kind of gives it a different look. So you can see I can do it on multiple things, different ones, and I am then going to bring in all of those fun stamp and thin cuts that I made to create these clusters. So I wanted to kind of draw your eyes into the photos, so I thought bringing in a cluster that kind of overlaps and just draws your eyes. Okay. I wanted to play with a little bit of mixed media. I liked the idea of bringing in some wood bits, so I dug through and I found wooden hearts, which I thought was just delightful for this layout. It goes great with that fall theme, the color scheme where you're bringing in those brown mochas, and you can see I'm kind of building a combination. So some of these are leaves stamped from the crisp air, some of them are from the sticker sheet, along with those embellishments, so kind of tying everything together. So I've made my banner, and then another thing I want to mention is I did bring in some more, as I like to say, some more sparkle into my project. So you can see I have that strip of gold glitter paper, and then I also die cut a couple of those banner pieces in gold. And I wanted to make sure fall was on one side. I really kind of played with that back and forth, and I liked kind of how I have some glitter, some solid, some fall. Now you can see that Picture My Life card had some flowers on it, and I wanted to build off of it, and I wanted to make it even more. That's part of the reason I kept that one instead of swapping it out for the fall list of things that I love in fall. However, that one has to go on something else. Now, once I've built these embellishments, I'm going back in with the gold Glit spray, and I'm using that pump from it. I am using that to add extra embellishments. So some of the flowers I'm adding like a flick of a stem, and then others I am adding dots. So you can see me flicking up, and then you can see I'm kind of adding some dots, some more flicks, and that really kind of just adds some sparkle and some extra dimension to your project. If you haven't played with the gloss sprays, you need to order some. They are so much fun, and it really adds a lot to your project. So I'm super excited with how this turned out. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, follow, subscribe. If you're interested, all of the materials will be linked over in the more section below, so you can check it out. And if you want to help support me, then make sure you subscribe or order from my website. Craft on!